on January 9th of 1997. I did get my horse for my 13th birthday. So I spent a lot of that year riding and competing. So that was an awesome birthday. Unforgettable. My best friends were Courtney Worley and Amy Veneziano, and all the girls that I rode horses with. I looked something like this. Maybe with my metal studded choker and some jinkos. Yeah, this was my favorite hat. My favorite band was Hanson. I was finishing up the 8th grade and just starting the 9th grade at a small prep school. I really loved the classes and the academics there, but most of the time I felt like I didn't fit in with anybody. While we did okay for ourselves, my family didn't have a ton of money. I felt like the kids were snobby and mean, and I was miserable all the time. I didn't feel as pretty as the popular girls. When I was 13, I hadn't been kissed yet, had never had a boyfriend, had never been asked to a dance. I remember having no self-esteem whatsoever, but I guess who really does at 13, you know? Several of the guys at my school, I remember being really mean. One or two of them told me I looked like a dog. A couple of them made fun of me because they said I had too much arm hair. Because I'm Italian, and I mean, looking at it now, it's like really not that much. Just like you can't even see it. But I remember being so self-conscious about that, it like ruins your life at 13. Those few comments from the guys in my class really got to me. When I really look back on it later on and think about my time in high school, a lot of that I'm sure I did to myself because I hadn't found my niche yet. Being outside of the box was where I knew I should be, but I wasn't okay with it yet, and I just felt like I needed everybody's approval. And sometimes I probably distanced myself from the other kids more than they looked down on me, you know, because I'm sure that those girls and guys didn't really mean to be mean to me all the time. As the saying goes, nobody can make you feel inferior without your consent. I just wish I had known that when I was 13, because I was definitely giving consent and making myself feel a lot more inferior than I should have. 13 was the most memorable for me because my mom had just had cancer and gone through treatment to get a tumor removed, and she and my dad were fighting all the time. And I remember both of my parents sat me down that summer and told me that they were getting a divorce. And it really rocked my world. I turned into this super depressed, super angry version of myself. That was the year that I also considered a lot of things that I never should have, like not wanting to live anymore. And luckily that didn't pan out. Yeah. When I went back to school that fall, a lot of people had heard about my parents and were surprisingly sympathetic. But I remember being really touched by how many people did reach out a hand to me that year. It was maybe just another hint at things not being as bad as I thought they were. And then that fall I also met my friend Courtney, who was kind of a little bit of an outsider like me, and we really bonded, and she helped me get through a lot of the being angry and the being depressed. Funny thing is, she, I believe, is a doctor of psychology now. Congrats. So that was 13. The good, the bad, the ugly. I am glad I'm not 13 anymore. Yeah.